English small talk. Connect and converse. Introduction. Hello and welcome. I'm so happy you're here. If you have this book, you likely want to feel more sure of yourself when you speak English. You want to talk with people at work, at school, or in daily life. And that is what we will do together. Picture this. You start a new job, and everyone knows each other. Or maybe you are at a party and people are talking, but you don't know how to join. It can feel a bit lonely, a bit strange, right? You might know a lot of English, but knowing what to say to start talking, or how to keep talking easily, can be hard. This is where small talk helps. So, what is English small talk? Think of it as a friendly way to connect with others. It is the easy talks we have with people we don't know well, or people we see often but aren't close friends with. It's not about talking about big, serious things. Instead, it's about talking about simple things, like the weather, what you did on the weekend, or something nice you saw. It's about being polite, showing you are friendly, and making people feel good. In many places where English is spoken, small talk is like a friendly wave. It shows you are nice and want to connect. Why is this important when learning English? Well, small talk is how friends start. It's how people at work get along well, and it's how you feel more at home in new places. When you can do small talk, you sound more natural and friendly. You go from just saying words to truly connecting with people. This makes you feel more sure of yourself. The more you practice these simple talks, the less worried you will be, and the easier it is to speak. A little chat can open doors to new chances, make your day nicer, and help you feel like you belong, whether at work or at school. Maybe you think you have nothing interesting to say, or you are scared of making mistakes. Please don't let these worries stop you. Small talk is more about being friendly than having great ideas. And making mistakes? That's a normal part of learning any language. People are usually very understanding. When you try to connect with others in small talk, it feels real and kind, not fake. This book is here to help you on this path. Our main goal is to give you easy phrases and talking skills you can use right away. We are not focusing on hard grammar rules. Instead, we are giving you the exact words and sentences people use every day to start talks, keep them going, and end them nicely. We use clear, simple English, so it's easy for you to learn and practice. We will look at common times you will be in, at work, at school, meeting new people, or at parties. Our goal is to help you feel more relaxed when you speak English. You will find many useful phrases for different times. We will help you see how talks move forward, how to ask more questions, and how to answer so that chat continues. By practicing these ways of talking, you will start to sound more natural and friendly, like people who speak English all the time. And with each good talk, your confidence will grow. We want you to say the phrases out loud, practice them, and really try to use them. This is one of the best ways to get better at saying words clearly and speaking smoothly. In the next parts, we will look at specific things. We will learn how to start a conversation, how to talk about the weather, which is very common, how to chat easily at work, and how to talk with people you just met. This book is your tool, your start, and your friend. When you finish, you will be ready to join any casual English talk with a smile and the right words. So, are you ready to start connecting? Let's begin this fun journey together and make your English talks friendly, natural, and full of connection. 1. Small talk in everyday life. Life is made of many moments, big and small. We often think important talks happen in offices or at fancy events. But many of our daily experiences are shaped by short, kind chats with people we see often. This is where simple English talk really shines. It's not just to fill quiet times. It's to create a gentle link in our everyday lives. Think about your morning. You might get coffee. The person making your drink, the barista, sees many faces each day. A simple good morning. How are you? Or it's a bit cold outside, isn't it? Can change how that moment feels. It turns a simple buy and sell into a moment between people. Suddenly, you are not just one more customer. You are a person they shared a small part of the day with. This small act of kindness can make their day a little happier and yours too. It's a tiny bridge built with just a few words. It happens all around us, all the time. This is the main idea of simple English talk in daily life. It is everywhere. It's the casual chat while waiting in line at the store. You might talk about the long line or something someone is buying. It's the quick hello to another person walking their dog in the park, a shared look about how great or hard having a pet can be. It's that moment on the bus or train when you might look at someone and give a small smile, or maybe say something quick about the trip. These are not deep talks. They are light, polite ways to show we are all human. They are chances to practice English in an easy way, and more importantly, to feel a little more connected to the world. Why do these short talks matter? Because they build bridges, not walls. In a world that can feel lonely, these small chats remind us we are part of a group. They make us feel like we belong, even if just for a few minutes. When you say something nice to someone, you show you are friendly, easy to talk to, and open to connect. This can make daily life feel nicer and less lonely. For someone learning English, these moments are very important. They give real practice and build belief in yourself. Each small talk that goes well is a small win. It shows you can talk and connect with people who speak English. Let's look at work. Many people think work is only about tasks and projects. But the friendships we make there are very important for doing good work and feeling happy. Small talk at work is like oil for machines. A quick chat with a coworker before a meeting, asking about their weekend or talking about the weather, can make things less tense and create a more relaxed feeling. These short talks during breaks, or when people pass each other in the hall, help coworkers feel like a team. They help coworkers see each other as people, not just people they work with. This makes it easier to ask for help, to work together on projects, and to handle the problems that come up at work. When you feel okay talking to your coworkers, even about simple things, you will likely feel more involved and happy at work. It makes work feel less like something you have to do and more like a community. Outside of work, casual parties are another great place for small talk. Imagine you are at a friend's party or a neighborhood get-together. You might not know many people there. This is where small talk is your best helper. Instead of standing alone feeling shy, you can use small talk to start talking. A simple "Hi, I'm your name. How do you know the host?" is a great way to begin. You can then ask about their day, what they like, or anything that comes up in the talk. These light chats help you get to know people a little better and feel more comfortable. It's about showing you care about others, even if the talk is short. This way, you seem friendly and help build connections, turning a possibly awkward moment into a fun one. So, why is small talk so important in countries where English is spoken? It's a common way to show you are polite, friendly, and willing to connect. In many English-speaking countries, starting small talk is seen as good manners. It's a way to show you see others and are not distant. It's a gentle way to see if someone wants to talk more without being pushy. It's like a social helper that makes talking easier and creates a good feeling. For those learning English, understanding this is key. It's not just about learning words. It's about understanding why people say them, the wish to connect and be nice. Let's think about some specific times you can use these ideas. First, the coffee shop or cafe. This is a great place for small talk. After saying hello, you can talk about the weather. "It's a beautiful day, isn't it?" Or "I'm so happy to be inside where it's warm." You could ask the barista a simple question about a new drink, What's this new latte like? Is it very sweet? Or if you see someone reading a book you might say, "Oh, I love that book." Have you reached the part where but be careful not to tell them what happens? These are all easy ways to start a chat. The barista is usually happy to talk for a moment, and other customers might join if they feel comfortable. Second, on buses or trains. These are places where people often sit near each other for a while. If you are sharing a seat or sitting across from someone, a simple comment can work well. "This train seems to be on time today, which is nice," or "It's quite full this morning, isn't it?" If there's a delay, you could say, "I hope this delay doesn't make you too late." These comments are easy to understand and don't need a long answer. They just show you notice a shared experience. Sometimes, a simple smile and nod is enough, but if it feels right, a few words can make the trip nicer. Third, the grocery store or local shop. While people are often busy with their shopping, there are still chances. If you are both reaching for the same thing, you might say, "Oh, excuse me, please go ahead." Or if you see someone with many things, you could say, "Looks like you're getting a lot." If you notice something interesting, you might ask the person next to you, "Have you tried this before? I'm curious about it." These comments are light and show you are paying attention and are friendly. Fourth, waiting in line for anything. The bank, the post office, a popular place. Waiting can be boring, so a little small talk can make it go faster. You could comment on how long the line is. "It looks like we'll be here for a bit." Or, "I'm glad I brought a book." If you see someone with children, you might say, "They seem to be having fun." These short chats can make waiting feel less boring and more social. Fifth, at the gym or a park. If you are both using the same equipment or walking on similar paths, a friendly comment can be good. "That looks like a tough workout." Or, "It's a lovely day for a walk, isn't it?" If you see someone doing something impressive, you could say something nice. "Wow, you're really strong." Or, "That's a beautiful dog you have." These are simple ways to notice each other and create a good feeling in a shared place. Now, how can you use these ideas to handle quiet moments or short meetings? The main thing is to look around and have a few simple phrases ready. Quiet moments happen when we feel we should say something, but don't know what. Instead of letting the quiet grow, think about what is around you or what you are both doing. Talk about the weather. This is a safe topic for everyone. It's always okay and people can relate. "It's really raining hard out there." Or finally, some sun. Talk about the situation. "Are you waiting? Is it busy? Is something interesting happening? This line is moving faster than I thought." Or, "Look at that beautiful sunset." Ask a simple question that needs more than a yes/no answer. This encourages a response. "How's your day going so far?" Or, "Are you going far?" Say something nice. People always like compliments. "I like your scarf." Or, "That's a nice bag." The goal is not to have a long, deep talk. It's to make a short, good connection. Even a short chat that ends with a smile and a "have a good day" can make a difference. It shows you notice others and are happy to connect in a friendly way. Doing this is very helpful for building confidence. Each time you start or answer small talk well, you show yourself that you can talk clearly and connect with people. This makes you less afraid to speak English and more willing to try in the future. The good things you can get from mastering small talk as an English learner are big. First, it greatly increases your confidence. When you can handle these daily talks easily, you feel more able and less worried about speaking English. Second, it helps you build real connections. These are not just people you meet once. These are people you see often: your barista, your neighbors, your coworkers. Small talk helps turn strangers into friendly faces, and friendly faces into a feeling of community. This can make your life in an English-speaking place feel much better and more welcoming. Third, it makes your listening skills better. To answer small talk well, you need to listen closely to what the other person says, even if it's just a few words. This careful listening is a very important part of talking. Finally, it makes your English sound more natural and friendly. People who speak English as their first language often use small talk as a normal part of talking. By learning and using these phrases, you will sound more like them and seem more friendly. It's about sounding human, warm, and interested. So, we have seen how small talk is part of our daily lives, from the coffee shop to work, and how it's a useful tool for building connections and feeling more confident. It's about more than just words. It's about making things nicer and more connected for everyone. Now that we understand why and where small talk is so useful in our daily lives, the next important step is to learn how to actually start these talks. We will go from understanding the importance to learning how to begin small talk, giving you the opening lines that make a difference. 2. Learning to converse in English. Talking in English can feel like a big hill to climb. You might know many English words, understand how sentences work, and even read English books easily. But when it's time to actually speak to someone, you might feel shy or unsure. This is very common for many people learning English, and it's okay. The good news is that talking is a skill, like riding a bike or learning to cook. You are not born knowing how to do it. You learn and get better with practice. Think of it like this. Knowing all the things you need for a tasty meal is one thing, but knowing how to mix them, cook them, and make them look nice is another. In English, knowing words is like having the food items. Learning to talk is like becoming the cook. It's about how you put words together, how you listen, and how you answer to make the talk flow and be pleasant. It's not just about speaking, it's about connecting with others. This is where English small talk becomes your best helper. It's the easy way to start. A friendly hello, or a polite question that makes things less awkward. Small talk is not about talking about hard topics or sharing your deepest feelings. Instead, it's a simple, casual chat that helps people feel at ease with each other. It's like a bridge that takes you from being quiet to having a friendly chat. In everyday life, at work, at school, or just waiting in a line, small talk is how people start to build friendships and show they are friendly. It's the start of any good connection. So, why is it often harder for people learning English to talk than to understand or read English? The reason is that talking happens live. When you read or listen, you get information. You can stop, read again, or go back. You have time to think about what you hear or see. But in a live talk, words fly by quickly. You need to understand right away, think of an answer, and say it, all while the other person is doing the same. This needs a different kind of quick thinking. You have to think on your feet. You need to not only understand the words, but also the feeling behind them, the situation, and things that are not said directly. Also, the need to answer fast can be scary. Learners often worry about making mistakes, using the wrong words, or not being understood, which can make them hesitate and be quiet. This fear of not being perfect can stop even those who know many words. The idea of sounding friendly and natural is closely linked to learning to talk. When you sound friendly, you make others want to talk with you. When you sound natural, the talk feels easy and good for everyone. This doesn't mean you need a perfect accent or to use slang like someone who grew up speaking English. It means using common phrases in common ways, answering well, and showing you are truly interested. The first steps to doing this are getting used to how English conversations usually go. It's about understanding the common ways people start, keep going, and end a chat. For example, instead of just saying hello, a more natural start might be hi, how are you today? Or good morning, nice weather, isn't it? These small additions make your greeting warmer and invite a longer answer than just yes or no. Looking at how people talk showed us that listening and repeating are very important for learning to talk naturally. When you hear how people who speak English as their first language greet each other, ask simple questions, or say brief things about the weather or what's around them, you are learning the sound of English talk. By listening closely and then practicing these phrases yourself, you start to learn these patterns. It's like learning a song. You listen, you hum along, and then you sing it yourself. The more you listen to and practice these natural conversations, the more comfortable you become, and the less effort it takes to do them. This repeated listening and practice makes you familiar with them, and familiarity is the base for sounding natural. Feeling confident is another important thing that grows with every good talk. Imagine you are at a coffee shop. You want to ask the person making coffee a question about the menu, but you feel nervous. You take a deep breath, use a simple, polite phrase like, "Excuse me, could you tell me what's in this drink?" The person answers clearly, maybe even smiles. You understood them, and they understood you. That's a small win. Even though it was a very short chat, it was a successful conversation. Each time you manage to communicate, no matter how simple, a little bit of that nervousness goes away. You prove to yourself that you can do it. This builds your belief in yourself. Over time, these small successes add up, making you want to try longer talks and join in more. The fear of making mistakes starts to fade because you know that even if you do, you can fix it and keep going. So, how do we actually start and continue these talks? The basic parts are quite simple. To start a chat, you can often say something about where you both are. For example, if you are waiting for a bus, you might say something about the weather. "It's quite cold today, isn't it?" Or "I hope the bus isn't too late." If you are at work, you might ask a coworker about their weekend. "Did you have a good weekend?" Or "Anything interesting happen?" These are easy ways to start a conversation. Once the talk has started, the key to keeping it going is to show you are interested in the other person. This often means asking questions that need more than a yes or no answer. Instead of asking, "Did you like the movie?" which can be answered with a simple yes, you could ask, "What did you think of the movie?" This invites them to share their thoughts. Listening well is also very important. When the other person speaks, nod, look at them, and show you are paying attention. You can also use short sounds like "Oh, really?" or "That's interesting" to show you are listening. Answering in a good way means understanding how the conversation is going. If someone asks you a question, answer it, and then, if you can, ask them a related question back. For example, if a coworker asks, "Did you have a good weekend?" you can reply, "Yes, it was nice. I went for a walk in the park. How about yours?" This simple back and forth is the heart of conversation. It shows you are taking part and want a two-way chat. The goal here is not to become a perfect English speaker right away, but to become someone who talks more confidently and comfortably. By focusing on English small talk, you are learning to use language in a way that builds connections. You are learning to be friendly, polite, and easy to talk to. These are the important skills that will make your journey in learning English much more fun and helpful. Every small chat you have is a step forward, a chance to practice, and a way to connect. Now that we know talking is a skill you can learn and small talk is our important tool, the next step is to get the actual phrases and ways to make these first talks go smoothly and well. We will start by looking at the most common times when small talk is not just polite, but expected. 3. Listening and repeating for practice. When you first start learning a new language, it can feel like you're trying to learn a song by just reading the music. You might understand the notes, but you don't quite get the melody, the feeling, or how to make it sound beautiful. English small talk is a bit like that song. It has its own rhythm, its own common tunes, and its own way of sounding natural and friendly. To truly learn it, you need to do more than just read the words. You need to hear them, feel them, and then make them your own. This is where the powerful magic of listening and repeating comes in. Think about how you learned your first language as a child. You didn't start by reading grammar books. You listened. You heard your parents, your family, and the world around you speaking. You absorbed the sounds, the tones, the way words flowed together. Then, you started to try and copy those sounds. You babbled, you repeated words, and slowly, your own voice began to match the voices you heard. Listening and repeating is the most natural way to learn how to speak, and it's incredibly effective for mastering English small talk. Why listening is your first, best friend before you can even think about saying something friendly and natural in English. You need to hear it. Listening is the foundation. When you listen to native English speakers having small talk, you're not just hearing words. You're picking up on so many important things that aren't always written down in books. You'll hear the rhythm of the conversation. English has a natural flow, with certain words being stressed more than others. This rhythm makes speech sound smooth and easy to follow. If you only read English, you miss this vital musicality. Listening helps you understand where the ups and downs are in a sentence. You'll also pick up on intonation. This is the rise and fall of your voice. For example, a question often has a rising tone at the end, while a statement might have a falling tone. Small talk relies heavily on friendly intonation. A simple "how are you?" can sound genuinely interested or a bit bored, all depending on how you say it. Listening teaches you these subtle differences. And then there are the common word choices. Native speakers don't always use the most complex words. They use simple, everyday words that fit naturally into a conversation. Listening shows you which phrases are used most often in casual settings. You'll learn that instead of saying "it is a pleasure to meet you," people often say "nice to meet you" or "it's good to meet you." These are the small, everyday phrases that make English small talk feel so natural. By simply listening to how people talk in everyday situations, perhaps in a coffee shop, at work, or on a bus, you are gathering valuable information. You are building an understanding of what real, spoken English sounds like. This is the essential first step before you even try to speak. The amazing power of repeating shadowing now. Listening is great, but it's like watching someone else play a sport. To get good yourself, you have to get on the field. That's where repeating, or what some people call shadowing, comes in. Shadowing is when you try to speak at the same time as the person you are listening to, mimicking their words, their speed, and their tone as closely as possible. Why is this so powerful? When you repeat what you hear, you are actively training your mouth and your brain. Your mouth muscles, which are used to the sounds of your native language, need practice to make the new sounds of English. Repeating helps them get stronger and more flexible. It's like a workout for your tongue, lips, and jaw. Shadowing also helps you internalize the sentence structures. When you repeat a whole phrase or sentence, you're not just repeating words. You're repeating the order of those words and how they connect. This helps your brain remember how to build sentences naturally, without you having to think too hard about grammar rules. Let's think about a common small talk phrase. "It's a bit chilly today, isn't it?" If you just listen to this, you might understand it. But if you try to shadow it, you'll notice the slight pause before "isn't it," the way the voice goes up a little at the end, and the relaxed, easy way it's said. By repeating it, you're training yourself to say it in that same natural way. The beauty of shadowing is that it forces you to pay close attention. You can't just let the words wash over you. You have to actively try to match the speaker. This focused practice is much more effective than simply listening and then trying to recall the phrase later. It bridges the gap between understanding and speaking. Where to find your small talk practice partners? So, where can you find these authentic examples of English small talk to listen to and repeat? Thankfully, in today's world, there are many great resources. One of the best places is often right within this book. Many dialogues and examples are written to sound like real conversations. Pay attention to the way characters speak to each other. You can read these aloud, and then try to repeat them, imagining you are one of the characters. Beyond the book, think about short video clips online. Many websites offer short videos of everyday life, interviews, or even simple vlogs where people are just chatting. Look for videos where the speakers are talking clearly and at a moderate pace. Podcasts are another fantastic resource. There are many podcasts designed for English learners that feature conversations. Some even have transcripts, so you can read along as you listen. Look for podcasts that focus on everyday topics or interviews with ordinary people. Even TV shows or movies can be helpful, but be careful. Sometimes the dialogue can be very fast or use slang that's hard for beginners. It's often better to start with materials specifically made for learners or with clear, simple dialogues. The key is to find audio or video where the speech is natural and clear. You want to hear how people really talk, not just how they might read from a script in a formal setting. The more you expose yourself to authentic English small talk, the better you'll become at recognizing and using it. Making your practice count. How to do it right. Just listening and repeating might sound simple, but doing it effectively requires a little strategy. Here's how you can make your practice time really work for you. 1. Start small. Don't try to shadow an entire conversation right away. Begin with single sentences or short phrases. Pick 1 or 2 phrases that you want to learn and focus on those. For example, if you want to get better at greeting people, pick hello, how are you? And nice to meet you. 2. Listen multiple times. Before you even try to repeat, listen to the phrase several times. Get used to the sound, the rhythm, and the intonation. 3. Try to shadow. Now, play the audio again and try to speak along with the speaker. Don't worry if it's not perfect at first. The goal is to try and match their timing and sound. If it's too hard to speak at the exact same time, you can pause the audio slightly after the speaker. Finish as a phrase and then repeat it. This is still very effective. 4. Record yourself. This is a crucial step that many learners skip, but it's incredibly helpful. Use your phone or computer to record yourself saying the phrase. Then listen to the original speaker again, and then listen to your own recording. How do they compare? Can you hear the differences in pronunciation or rhythm? This comparison is where you'll learn the most. 5. Focus and repeat. Choose 1 or 2 phrases and work on them until they feel comfortable. Don't try to learn too many new things at once. It's better to master a few phrases and be able to use them naturally than to know many phrases, but not be able to say them well. Practice these chosen phrases every day for a few minutes. 6. Pay attention to details. As you practice, notice the small things. Where does the speaker's voice go up or down? Are there any sounds that are difficult for you? For example, the th sound in think or this can be tricky for many learners. Focus on practicing those specific sounds within the phrases. Remember, this is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. Be patient with yourself. Some days will feel easier than others. The important thing is to keep trying. Building bridges. How practice creates confidence. This might seem like just an exercise in copying sounds, but it's so much more. Every time you successfully repeat a phrase and it sounds closer to the original, you are building confidence. You are proving to yourself that you can make these sounds and use these phrases. When you feel more comfortable with the sound and rhythm of small talk phrases, you'll feel less shy about using them. You'll start to feel more natural in your own speech. This increased comfort is what allows you to connect with others. Imagine you've been practicing "It's a lovely day, isn't it?" diligently. You've listened to it, repeated it, and recorded yourself. You've worked on the rhythm and the slight upward lilt at the end. Now, you're at a park and the sun is shining. Instead of feeling nervous about what to say, you can easily and naturally say, "It's a lovely day, isn't it?" The person you're talking to will likely smile and agree, and a simple connection has been made. This small success breeds more confidence, which leads to more opportunities to practice, and the cycle of improvement continues. The benefits of shadowing go beyond just sounding good. They help you understand the culture of English small talk. You start to get a feel for when it's appropriate to say certain things, how to sound friendly, and how to keep a conversation light and pleasant. This deeper understanding is what truly helps you connect and converse. Answering the deeper questions, you might be wondering, what's so special about shadowing compared to just listening and then trying to say it later? The key difference lies in the immediacy and the synchronization. When you shadow, you are attempting to match the speaker in real time. This forces your brain and your mouth to work together much more intensely. You're not just recalling a phrase, you're actively producing it in sync with the model. This synchronization helps to embed the sounds, rhythm, and intonation more deeply. It's like learning to dance by trying to move with the music, rather than just listening to it and then trying to move afterwards. The simultaneous action creates a stronger neural connection. Another important question is, how do I choose which phrases to focus on? With so many ways to say hello, ask about the weather, or talk about weekend plans, it can be overwhelming. The best approach is to start with the most common and versatile phrases. Think about the situations where you most want to use small talk. Is it at work? At school? When meeting new people? For example, greetings like "Hi," "Hello, how are you?" and responses like "I'm good, thanks," or "Not too bad" are fundamental. Phrases about the weather are always a safe bet. It's a nice day, it's raining again, it's getting cold. Talking about the weekend is also very common. Did you have a good weekend? Or anything interesting planned for the weekend? You can also look for phrases that are used to start conversations, keep them going, and end them politely. Starting phrases might be "Excuse me" or "Hi, I'm your name." Keeping phrases include things like "Oh, really?" or "That's interesting." Polite ending phrases are "It was nice talking to you," or "Have a good day." As you listen to authentic conversations, pay attention to which phrases come up again and again. These are your gold mines for practice. Don't be afraid to pick a few phrases that you like the sound of and focus on them until you feel confident. 4. Simple English for clear understanding. Sometimes, when we want to talk to people in English, we think we need to use very big, fancy words. We might feel like we have to sound like a professor or a news reporter. But for making friends and having nice, easy chats, what we call English small talk, the opposite is often true. Simple English is actually your best friend. It's like a warm handshake, easy to give and easy to receive. Think about it. When you meet someone new, maybe at work or at a community event, you want them to feel comfortable. You want to connect. If you use words that are too difficult, or sentences that are very long and twisty, it can make that other person feel a bit confused. They might stop listening, or they might feel shy about asking you to repeat yourself. This is the opposite of what we want for small talk. Small talk is all about being friendly and polite, and simple words help us do that best. Using everyday words, the kind you hear and use most often, makes you sound natural. It shows you are relaxed and open to talking. It's not about hiding what you know, it's about choosing the right tools for the job. For small talk, the job is connection, and simple words are the most direct way to build that bridge. They are like clear, smooth stones that make it easy to walk across a stream. When you use simple language, you are saying, I want to be understood, and I want to understand you. This is the heart of good conversation. Let's look at some examples. Imagine you are at a coffee shop and you want to comment on the lovely day. You could say, the atmospheric conditions are exceptionally favorable today, wouldn't you agree? That sounds very formal, maybe even a little strange for a casual chat. It's not wrong, but it's not the most natural way to start a friendly conversation. Now consider this, nice weather today, isn't it? This is simple. It uses common words. Nice weather today. The sentence is short and direct. It's easy for anyone to understand. And because it ends with a little question, isn't it? It invites the other person to agree or share their thoughts. This simple phrase is much more likely to lead to a friendly exchange. It's like opening a small, welcoming door instead of a grand, imposing one. This idea of simplicity applies to how we structure our thoughts too. Long, complicated sentences can be hard to follow, especially if English is not someone's first language. When we break our ideas into shorter sentences, we make it much easier for the listener to catch every part of what we're saying. For instance, instead of saying, I was thinking about that new project we discussed yesterday, and I realized that if we approach the initial phase with a more collaborative strategy, we might overcome some of the anticipated logistical challenges more efficiently. Try this. I was thinking about the new project. I had an idea. If we work together more in the beginning, it might help us with the problems we expect. See the difference? The second version uses shorter sentences. Each sentence has one clear idea. I was thinking about the new project. I had an idea. Even simpler. If we work together more in the beginning, it might help us with the problems we expect. This is still a bit longer, but it's broken down. The listener can process each part. They hear work together in the beginning, help us problems. These are all common words. The chances of misunderstanding are much lower. This clarity is vital for building confidence. When you know your words are likely to be understood, you feel less nervous about speaking. You can relax and focus on the conversation, not just on finding the right word. This focus on simple, clear language is also a two-way street. It's not just about how you speak, it's also about how you listen and respond. When you use simple English, you are also better equipped to understand the simple English that others use. This creates a smooth flow. You hear a simple question, you can form a simple, direct answer. You understand a simple comment, and you can offer a simple, relevant reply. This back and forth is the essence of a good conversation. It's like a gentle dance, where each partner can easily follow the other's steps. Consider a situation where someone asks, "How was your weekend?" If you learn to respond with simple phrases, you might say, "It was good. Thank you. I went for a walk in the park." This is clear, friendly, and easy to understand. If you try to say something more complex, like, "My weekend was characterized by a period of profound relaxation and intellectual stimulation, primarily involving extensive reading and contemplation of existential themes," the other person might be taken aback. They might not know what characterized profound relaxation or existential themes mean. They might just nod, unsure how to respond. Your simple answer, however, opens the door for them to say, "Oh, that sounds nice. What did you read?" Or, "I love going for walks too." It's also very important, especially when you are starting out, to be careful with jargon and slang. Jargon refers to special words used in a particular job or hobby. For example, in a doctor's office, they might use words like hypertension or prognosis. In a computer store, they might talk about RAM or peripherals. Unless you are sure the person you are talking to understands these words, it's best to avoid them in small talk. Slang is informal language that is often used by specific groups of people. Words like cool, awesome, or sick can mean different things depending on who is saying them and how. While slang can make you sound very natural with friends, it can also be confusing for people who are learning English. It can change quickly, and what is popular today might be old-fashioned tomorrow. For the purpose of making clear, friendly connections, it's safer to stick to standard, simple English. This ensures that your message is received as you intend it, without any confusion or awkwardness. Let's think about how using simple English helps build confidence. When you are learning a new language, there's always a little voice in your head that worries about making mistakes. It's like walking on a tightrope. You are concentrating so hard on not falling that you can't enjoy the view. But when you focus on using simple, clear words and sentences, that tightrope feels a little wider. You know that even if you mispronounce a word or use a slightly simpler phrase than you intended, the meaning will likely still get across. This reduces the pressure. You can speak more freely, and with more speaking comes more practice, and with more practice comes more confidence. It's a positive cycle. Imagine you are at a social gathering and you want to ask someone about their job. Instead of asking, "Could you elaborate on the specific responsibilities and operational parameters of your professional engagement?" which is very complex, you can simply ask, "What do you do for work?" This is direct, polite, and easy to understand. The person can then tell you about their job using their own words. If they use some terms you don't know, you can then ask a simple follow-up question like, "What does that mean?" This is much less intimidating than trying to understand a very complex initial question. Another example of where simple language shines is when you are offering a compliment. Instead of saying, "Your sartorial choices are consistently commendable and exhibit a remarkable degree of aesthetic sophistication," which is very formal and wordy, a simple, "I really like your shirt," is warm, direct, and effective. It conveys the same positive feeling with far fewer words and much less chance of sounding unnatural or overly serious. The person receiving the compliment will feel genuinely appreciated. When we talk about English small talk, we are talking about those light, friendly conversations that happen in everyday situations. It's not about discussing deep philosophy or complex scientific theories. It's about saying hello, asking how someone is, commenting on the weather, or asking about their weekend. The goal is to be friendly, polite, and to make a connection. And the best way to do this is by using language that is easy for everyone to understand. Simple English is the key that unlocks these friendly conversations. It's the foundation upon which all good small talk is built. It allows us to connect with others without barriers, making our interactions smoother, more enjoyable, and more meaningful. By mastering the art of simple, clear communication, you've laid a strong foundation for natural English small talk. But understanding what to say is only half the battle. The next step is to learn how to say it in a way that sounds genuinely friendly and engaging, moving beyond just words to convey warmth and personality. Conclusion: you made it to the end. Great job. You have finished reading English Small Talk, Connect, and Converse. It takes effort to learn to talk with others in a new language, and you showed you have that effort by getting this far. We looked at how to make easy conversation in English. Now you have the tools to talk with people every day without feeling nervous. Think of this book not as the end, but as a place to start learning even more. Talking with people in English is not just about filling quiet moments. It is the first step to making friends and feeling like you belong. It is a friendly smile, a simple question, or a shared thought that turns strangers into people you know and people you know into friends. When you can make small talk, it shows you are interested in the world around you. and understand how people talk in English. We learn phrases and ways to talk that sound kind and natural. This helps you have real talks, not just say words like a robot. From talking at work to talking at school, at a party, or in a shop, the things you learned are for real life. They are for the everyday moments when people connect. Every phrase and every tip was chosen to make you feel more sure of yourself. The more you practice, the more natural you will sound and the better your connections will become. Think of small talk as a warm-up before a longer talk. It is like a handshake that opens the door to a more important conversation. We learned how to start talking easily. This includes simple greetings and asking questions that fit the moment. You learned how to keep a conversation going. This means listening well, asking more questions, and sharing a short story about yourself. We looked at phrases for different places like work, school, parties, and when you meet someone by chance. You also learned how to share your ideas and answer others in a nice and helpful way. And it is important, we learned how to end a conversation politely so the other person has a good feeling. We always tried to use words that sound natural and friendly, not like you are reading from a script. You learned to change the phrases to sound like you and to fit the situation. This book gave you many useful phrases to use right away. These are not just words, they help you connect with people. We used simple English and examples from real life to make learning easy and work well. Knowing things is good, but doing them is how you get good. The real fun of English small talk happens when you use these skills in the world. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start with small steps. Try one new phrase each day. Start a short talk with someone at work, at school, or in a shop. It is okay if it is not perfect at first. Every try is a chance to learn. People who speak English as their first language also make mistakes. The main thing is to be brave, be present, and be willing to try. Look for chances to talk everywhere. Your trip to work, a break for coffee, something you both like. These are all good places to practice your small talk. Remember to listen and repeat phrases out loud. Doing this helps you remember. Every little talk you have makes you more confident, helps you meet more people, and makes living or working in a place where people speak English more enjoyable and rewarding. Now you have the main skills to have friendly, natural talks in English. You have the confidence to connect with others. Being able to make small talk is a great way to build friendships, understand people, and feel comfortable in any social situation. Take every chance to chat, to listen, and to share. Your journey to connect with people in English has just begun. Thank you for being with us. Now go out and connect with people.